morning everyone. Myself Zalak of grade 7 welcome you all on behalf of Gyan Mudra Innovative School. Today, as we gather here to celebrate World Braille's Day, observed on 4th January each year on the honor of the birth of Louis Braille, the brilliant inventor of Braille system. This marks a significant milestone in advocating for inclusivity of visually impaired people. Here I introduce my co-host Master Mantra and Miss Rajvi. I also invite my co-host Master Krish to present brief information about today's program.
Good morning, everyone. Throughout today's program, we will focus on the importance of Braille in empowering visually impaired persons and fostering a more inclusive society. Here, I invite my co-host Master Mantra to introduce our esteemed guest and expert of today's talk show.
Life's most urgent question: what are you doing for others? This is a quote by Martin Luther King Jr. Our today's guest, Dr. Nikisha Jariwala, has truly honored this quote. Nikisha ma'am is a national level awardee who had contributed to our society not only as a professor but also as an author, researcher, and a YouTuber for free education. Dr. Nikisha Jariwala is a doctorate in computer science and IT. She has received 12 plus awards for her research work and contribution to our society of visually impaired people. Let us learn more about her journey and accomplishments from her itself. Ma'am, on behalf of Gyan Mudra Innovative School, I welcome you and I request you to share your story and make us aware about the significance of Braille.
Thank you. If I start related to my own self, then I can say that I have completed my 12th in science, but then I have done the transition into computer science and IT field. So I have taken admission in bachelor in computer application, and then in the same field I have completed my masters. And I guess in the same year, that is 2009, I have started my journey as a professor. So as I was in the technology field since I guess 3 years of bachelor's and 3 years of masters. So love towards the technology was always there. But the important part was that how I can help the society with the help of the technology. Because technology are being used by each and every person in the society. But the important part is that there are some people in our society which needs aid to with the help of the technology. So that's why I guess love towards the technology and passion to help the society. I found out that okay, if I can help some part of the society in such a way that my research will able to provide the aid in their day-to-day life. So if I consider visually impaired children or visually impaired people in terms of elder people, then as well the work that I have accomplished with the help of my research will be helpful to all the all the age people of that society. So if I talk about my research, then I can say that my research will help visually impaired people to get the literature in the Braille language. So if I talk about Braille language, then Braille language is the language which is used by visually impaired people to read and write. Like we are the sighted people, we use natural language like English, Gujarati, Hindi, and there are many different languages, right? But if I talk about Braille language, then Braille language is used by visually impaired people to read and write. And that Braille language is made up of one cell, and that cell is made up of 6 dots, right? Now if I consider English language, then in English language there is a capital letter, that is A for apple, right? Same thing needs to be represented in Braille so that they will able to read. Visually impaired person will able to read that, and they are only able to read with the help of Braille language. So the important part is there is a gap between our natural language and their Braille language. So in this scenario, in between, like intermediate interface is needed, which will convert natural language into Braille language. Now over here, if we consider Braille language, as I have already mentioned, that it is made up of one cell, and cell is made up of 6 dots. But the important part is that dot is not printed, it is embossed, right? Embossed in terms of, so that those visually impaired people can read with the help of their fingertips, right? Because they are not able to see like us, right? So how they will able to read? Obviously they will able to read with the help of their fingertip, that is just by touch. So that's why those characters are embossed on the papers, those cells and dots are embossed on the papers, so that they will able to read those things.
So ma'am, does it mean that the visually impaired people, those who know English as well as Braille, only can learn Braille? But now, after your research work, the students who do, the visually impaired people who doesn't know English can also learn Braille with the languages such as English, Hindi and Gujarati.
Yeah, actually my research work is based on 3 different languages.
Yes.
I have considered like international language, which is our English. Then I have considered our national language, which is Hindi. And then I have considered our regional language, that is Gujarati. Now the scenario is that though there is a visually impaired people who knows Braille language, but the characters that are formed in Braille for different languages are different. For example, if I talk about English, English has 26 characters in their character set, that is capital A to Z. But if we consider the variation in terms of uppercase and lowercase, then obviously there are different.
Yes.
But in English language, if we consider main characters, then there are 26 characters in the character set and 10 digits, that is 0 to 9. Likewise, if we consider Gujarati and Hindi language, then in that as well, there are many different variations of characters. For example, Gujarati and Hindi almost have 75 different characters. Like we consider vowels, consonants in Gujarati and Hindi, then there are 75 different characters. And along with that, those 10 digits, that is 0 to 9. Now over here, the challenging part is that, okay, visually impaired person knows Braille and one language. Well and good, that is more than enough. Because if I know English and I know Braille, I can read and write in Braille but by using English language, right? So actually Braille is a script and English is a natural language, right? So over here, actually they are also writing in English but by using Braille script. So that is that conversion is known as transliteration. It is not known as translation, right? It is known as transliteration because English language characters are there. We are only transliterating it with the help of Braille script, right? So if there is an visual impaired person, if that person knows Gujarati, well and good, that person can write Gujarati in Braille, right? And that person can read Gujarati in Braille. So that is transliteration and I have worked on that part. So if I talk further related to my research, then I have considered 3 languages and all of those 3 languages plain text can be converted into Braille script. Along with that, mathematical notations can also be converted into Braille and some shapes, symbols in terms of drawing like houses there, charts are there, right? Those can also be converted into Braille. And the last part that I have considered is that if visually impaired person doesn't want to read or write in terms of Braille, then that person can also listen to that text. So I have also converted text into speech so that that person can directly listen whatever is written in the plain natural language. So that is how I have went into my research.
Which means that the person which do not know Braille completely can also read and speak the language easily.
Yes, It is because that, as I have already mentioned, that my work focuses on both the parts. That is, the person who knows Braille language or Braille script, then that person can read with the help of Braille script, and if that person doesn't know Braille, then that person can convert that text into speech and that text can be listened. So both the parts are included within my research.
So, ma'am, I believe that there would be many challenges. What was your inspiration?
Okay, so if I talk about the challenges and inspiration, then it was in the beginning phase when I came up that okay, I want to go in the field of research, right? So the scenario was that which topic I should select, and that is a big deal, because see, computer field technology is quite a vast field. So in that scenario, if I consider, then the first challenge was that should I select the topic which is only related to the computer field, or should I select something which will be helpful to the society? And I came to the conclusion that if I am working on something for such a long period of time, and if it will remain only on paper, then my research is totally a waste. And that's why I came up with a topic which will be helpful to the society. And as I have talked prior as well, that my love towards technology was there, and my passion to help people, to the society, that was also there. So with the help of this research, I was able to bring my love and passion in one thing. So that's why I came up with this kind of a topic. I was knowing that okay, it will be very challenging, because as a sighted a person, to learn Braille is very difficult. I need to go to school to learn Braille, right? There is a school, Andajan Shara, right, where blind students study over there. I went over there, I learned Braille like small kid, that A for apple is written like this in Braille, 0 is written like this in Braille, and then I came up with the whole script that okay, exactly this is how Braille is formed, right? So it was a quite challenging task. I need to learn Braille. After that, I came to know that okay, English language is written in Braille script like this. But now what about Gujarati and Hindi? Then I asked that okay, I know Braille, now I can transliterate any language into Braille. So that teacher said, no, it's not possible. Because what I need to do, I need to learn how Gujarati is written in Braille. Right? Because see, English has A to Z, Gujarati has K to Gna. Right? There are many different characters. So obviously the representation of those characters in Braille is also different. Right? Yeah. And along with that, the most difficult part is, as I have mentioned, that there is one Braille cell. And that Braille cell is made up of 6 dots. Right? 3 rows, 2 columns. So only 6 dots permutation combination is to be considered to represent characters that are available in English, Hindi and Gujarati. English is very easy, because lesser number of characters are there in English language, and Braille can have 64 unique characters. But if we talk about Gujarati and Hindi, as we have already talked, 75 characters, along with that 10 digits. So it became almost 85 characters, and Braille can only represent 64 unique characters. And then I came up with that okay, I came to know it is not that easy to represent Gujarati and Hindi in Braille, because I need to add some extra indicators. And again, those extra indicators I need to learn. That okay, if it is digit, I need to represent that okay, next digit, next character is a digit and not the letter. Likewise, in our Gujarati and Hindi, you already know that there are half characters, conjunct characters, right? So obviously I need to represent all of them in Braille. So that's why it was a very long process to learn Braille. And then I started with my work in terms of computer field. that to develop and implement all those syntax rules and all those things in terms of one model.
Yes.
So my first phase was only to convert those three language texts, that is English, Gujarati and Hindi, into Braille. Then okay, it was without any errors, each and every characters I was able to convert. Then I came up with that, okay, this is just a plain text.
Yes.
Now what I can do is, I can work on mathematics, right? Because mathematics have different symbols,
Yes.
operators and all those things are there. Okay, I thought now it is very easy. I know Gujarati, Hindi, English, and I can convert it into Braille. So what maths has? Digits.
Yes.
Right? It's very easy to convert it, that as well. Then I came to know that if I want to represent mathematics in Braille, again there are two versions. Right? Nemeth Braille and literally Braille. And both the versions are written in different ways in Braille. So now again I need to learn that how to write mathematical text into Nemeth Braille, how to write mathematical text into literally Braille. So again I learned all those things.
Yes.
Again I started with my implementation. Then I thought, okay, everything is done, right? Plain text is converted, mathematical symbols are converted, right? All thing is done. Then I came to know that in maths there are two-dimensional equations, right? Two-dimensional equations means something raised to something. For example, 2 raised to 3,
Yes.
right? Those are considered as two-dimensional equation. Why? Because 2 is written in the same line, whereas 3 is written somewhere little bit up. That is known as superscript.
Yes.
Right? That is known as superscript. So now, how to represent that in Braille? I thought it is very easy, right? But as we know, Braille can't be written as a superscript and subscript because it is made up of those cells.
Yes.
If I will shift one cell little bit up, then it will become difficult to represent the upper line,
Yes.
right? So now again, I need to learn how to represent two-dimensional equation into Braille. So that was, again I learned that, okay, now extra indicators I need to add so that I will able to represent that this is superscript, right? So I learned all those things, and then again I have converted, first of all I have converted, actually over here the word, proper word is conversion of two-dimensional equation into linear equation. So my work was to convert two-dimensional equation into linear equation, and then I converted that linear equation into Braille. And along with that, another part I have also added in mathematical part of my model, that even if some image is given, right, mathematical equation image is given, that image can also be read by my model. It is converted into plain text, that is two-dimensional equation, then it is converted into linear equation, and then it is being translated transliterated into Braille. So image processing is also included in my research work. So that was the journey till mathematical equations.
Yes.
Ma'am, I am finding it very amazing. So I want to explore this. So can you show us something as well for our viewers?
Yeah, sure. I have something. Come closer. See, this is one article, news article, right, which is converted into Braille. So as you are able to see, over here it is written Gujarat Samachar, right? So fill it. See, these are the Braille cells that are embossed on the paper. Fill it.
Yes.
Right? Something you will feel that something is touching to your tip of the finger, right? If we will go through the plain text, we will not feel anything,
Yes.
right? So this embossing is done with the help of the embosser, and that is the Braille printer.
Okay.
And it is totally different from our normal printer, right? So this is the thing that is printed over here, for example Gujarat Samachar, and they will read like this, like we are reading. They will just read Gujarat Samachar, then Navi Delhi, Tariq 5 February 2017, Ravivar. Like that, they will read like we are reading, but just with the help of this fingertips. Right? So this is one-sided print. Right? Now, see, this is two-sided print. And see how complicated it looks. Right? See, printing is over here, embossing is over here as well as over here.
Both sides.
On both the sides. But see, when we take a look at it, it looks very complicated.
Yes.
Right? So they will just fill like this.
Okay.
And then they will turn and they will again fill those characters from here. And if you will take a look, closer look, then see, cells are shifted.
Yes.
Right? See, these cells are written at the lower position of the line, and these cells are written at the upper position of the line.
Okay.
So that is also, it also has some different terminology. That is rectodots and versodots. These are rectodots and these are versodots.
dots. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am, for such an informative and inspirational session. I hope that this program has not only increased the awareness of Braille's significance, but has also encouraged all of us to take action in ensuring that the visually impaired community is empowered to thrive in a world that accessible and equal for all. Thank you everyone
Thank you.
for joining us. Stay tuned for such an informative shows.
Thank you.
Thank you.